Hi, it's Juris and welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk, and today we will talk about cartridges without membrane and do they leak back ink or rinse water or whatever liquids. And now quick intro. Welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk, which is somewhat weekly web show where we talk tattoo related stuff, tips, tricks, tutorials, experiments like these, so you don't have to worry about it. I'll do them for you. If it's something for you, then consider subscribing, and if you have anything to say, then share your thoughts in a comment section down below the video. And now back to cartridges. As I was doing video on Kwadron cartridges, and the subject was that they are dramatically improved a safety feature of having a membrane. Back in the days they didn't have proper one, and as I did different tests, or maybe you can call them experiments. As doing that, I found out that cartridges without membrane do leak back ink or liquids or whatever gets in there. This is not particularly about Kwadron cartridges. Like I said, they're good guys now. They have a membrane, they look after their stuff, and it works and it's safe and it's all good. But I want to talk about things I tried and how did it end up. First thing I did, I took my good old pipette type of a thing and I mixed up ink with some water and just put it inside a cartridge, and then I slightly push on it to see what will happen, and the colored liquid leaked right through it like it's nothing there, nothing is stopping it, so it just went through. Obviously when I took cartridge with membrane, in this particular instance Kwadron with membrane, put the same liquid in, pushed in it all I want, and liquid stayed in. And after rinsing out cartridge, you can see where the red line is, and it didn't even get to the edge of the membrane. And like I mentioned in a video of this new Kwadron cartridge, it's well built and it holds the ink in. The next thing I tried was just ink. I took dynamic black ink because maybe liquid with ink is more viscous, more liquid, so it's easier for it to flow through. I took regular black dynamic ink and same situation happened. When you discuss this subject with some tattooists say I don't even try cartridges without membrane, while others say I don't mind because most of the time you work with your machine kind of down or sometimes straight, and it's not that often where those situations happen where you have to keep your machine kind of upside down. But still working, you notice yourself more than often when you need to get in some corner, you get all this, all that going on, so that machine gets tilted. Therefore, I decided to try what happens if you put liquid or ink inside the machine and have it on somewhat like 45 degrees angle. And I found pretty quickly, once I put the liquid in, within few seconds it just spilled right back. So I put machine on somewhat on 45-degree angle, so that would imitate something like that when holding it in a hand, and I put it in a fixed position to avoid all these movements, which would probably just make situation even worse. I put machine on an angle, put water with some ink in, and it took a couple seconds where it just spilled right out of the back and created a bit of mess, but that's what you get when you try things like these. Next thing I tried, I put machine horizontally and put just a regular black dynamic ink, and it ran for quite some time and nothing leaked back. Then I put it on a bit steeper level and it was somewhat fine, and once I was getting close to those, not even 45, but kind of in this type of even less than 45-degree angle, you could see that ink starts to come out the back of the machine, and it got all the way in there, so I created a bit of a mess within the machine and I spent quite some time cleaning it. So in this instance, ink does flow back, and if the cartridge doesn't have membrane, that could be an issue. Another thing I want to mention, that if you don't see it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. In this closed type of a machine, you might not even spot that the ink got in there. You might be like, oh, my push bar got dirty, and maybe not even pay attention to it. But you see machines like I bought this one secondhand, it's been tried to open up, and when I got it, I spent some time cleaning it. And also with cartridges with membrane, I had it once, but ink got somehow in there. I opened it up, I was like, oh, how the ink got in there, and then I looked inside the machine, and I did spend quite a bit of time cleaning it out as much as I could get in there, because if you have ever tried, you know that to open this bit is, I haven't succeeded with it. I know people who got them open on this machine. Obviously somebody tried, I don't know if they succeeded, but like I said, if you don't see it, doesn't mean that it's not there. And that's, we're talking big stuff like visible splashes of ink. If we're talking like cross-contamination and what could get on kind of microscopic or invisible level to human eye, that we can only guess. And the point of this video is that if that part of hygiene matters for you, if you don't want to cross-contaminate your machine, if you don't want any liquids to spill back, then having a membrane, it's a big part of what holds liquids back Or basically in cartridge situation, it's the main part that holds liquids back, and it's nothing new that ink comes back. And when you work with people who use regular needles, every now and then you get some guy who's like, damn, it spit back ink and I have to clean the whole thing again. It's more common than you think, and it's something to pay attention, considering that these days people often don't know what autoclave is, people avoid using disposable grips, people wrap their machines just in some grip tape, and then they say, yeah, it's safe because I use cartridges, but if it doesn't have membrane, then it's one of the aspects that this is all your ideas of what's clean and what's hygienic. Little but very important thing to pay attention to is membrane in cartridges. And if your question is, does it leak back without membrane? Then yes, it does. I tried it, so you don't have to. Share your thoughts on cartridges with membrane or without, which one is better, which one you prefer and why. Also check other videos linked in the video description. Check all the links there, check other video playlists, check links to kit page where you can find some useful stuff. And as always, if you have anything to say, then leave that down in the comment section. If you're new here, then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the new episodes. And if you liked it, then press that like button and see you in the future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!